Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Lowe's here. We back on the throne of positivity where the first is last and the last is first. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell so you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. Also, share the content so we can spread the gospel together. I can't do this alone. Maybe you can't speak in front of a camera or do social media stuff, but you can share a message, so go ahead and do that. We're going to be talking about how God's timing is so perfect. I want to share a story about something that I read online, or maybe I heard it on a video or something, but it's something that has impacted me so much that it truly changed my perspective on waiting on God in the midst of suffering. God's timing is perfect. And I want to encourage you in waiting on God no matter what you are facing, and trust in Him. So there's this story that I heard that there's this specific type of moth that this individual was breeding. And there seemed to be this one moth that went from the caterpillar, I guess, into the cocoon and is beginning its metamorphosis process. And during the cocoon stage, the breeder notices that the moth was struggling within its cocoon. As it was struggling, the breeder was like, I should help this moth get out of its cocoon. So what he does is he grabs the cocoon, takes scissors and cuts it open to allow the moth to come out of its cocoon. Now, the thing that happens next was very surprising to me. The moth comes out, but it couldn't fly. Time went on. He allowed it to heal or whatever, go through his process of healing, but the moth was never able to fly again in its life. It was paralyzed for the duration of its remaining days. And I was like, man, that's so intriguing. Like, what could it have possibly been? And the rest of the article or the video that I had watched, it explained that for the moth to develop its wings and the strength of the structure of the wings, it had to break through the cocoon itself. And the process of the cocoon breaking, what it does is that it allows the wings to calcify and strengthen enough that it could bear its weight while flying. And I was like, whoa, this is powerful, because when we're in the cocoon, we get so impatient. We cry out to God, Father, deliver me from this storm. Lord, help me get through this suffering. I don't want to go through this pain anymore. But what you don't realize is that God is perfectly patient. God is so perfectly patient, and He's not willing to answer those prayers, because He knows that you in that cocoon stage, though you may feel claustrophobic, though you may feel like you may not have any more strength, though you may feel like you're going through the fire and going through the waters, but God knows the capacity of what you can endure. And the thing that you think is going to destroy you is the very thing He uses to create the person that is necessary for the next season of your life, that is the beauty of the butterfly. There's one verse that I love, and every time that I hear this verse, I think of that process of the caterpillar, the cocoon, and then the butterfly, and that is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 10 or 11, where it says, God makes everything beautiful in its time. And we see that so beautifully orchestrated and displayed, exemplified in nature. And I want to encourage you. Yes, it hurts. I know, because I'm going through it with you. It hurts. But if you break through the cocoon alone with the strength of God and that courage and that hope and that faith in the Lord, you'll break through that cocoon and you will develop into that beautiful moth or that beautiful butterfly that graces the earth so elegantly in the way that it flies. And it's so beautiful, this process that God allows, because just thinking about it, going back to the caterpillar, most of us, maybe you may think a caterpillar is cute, but sometimes, I don't know, I'll be seeing them things and the way they move and the way they look sometimes, it kind of freaks me out. You know what I mean? And then especially when they're in the cocoon, it's just like, there ain't nothing pretty about that. But it's so interesting how the caterpillar has this like weird structure of moving, or this weird mechanism or whatever of moving. Like, it folds its body, creates a mountain, then it flattens out and creates a valley, right? But then it creates a mountain, then it creates a valley. I hope you're following me in the way that I'm saying this, but I'm going to try to display it on my arm. Like, you know how a caterpillar moves. It creates a mountain, then it creates a valley. Then it creates a mountain, then it creates another valley. But what we don't realize is that it's the mountains and the valleys that cause us to create movement. And this thing that was so, what's the opposite of elegant? I don't know. I don't want to say disgraceful, but it's not elegant, right? Sorry for my lack of vernacular, but it's just not graceful, right? But have you ever seen, I mean, obviously you've seen, but have you ever paid attention and just admired the way a butterfly flies? How it gracefully and elegantly and eloquently just patiently floats through the air, and it just goes in every single direction. And every time I see a butterfly flying or floating through the air, I just imagine like pixie fairy dust, like in its trail and in its wake as it flies. And it's just such a beautiful thing to witness, that God brought the caterpillar from that movement of mountains and valleys to so gracefully cutting through the air. In that, I want to tell you, your season can be compared to this. You go from that awkward moving of mountains and valleys and mountains and valleys and mountains and valleys. Pay attention to where God is taking you. You're going from mountains and valleys, mountains and valleys, and mountains and valleys, until finally, boom, you found yourself in a cocoon, and you thought, oh man, this was the season that I was going to break out. This was the season. If I just went through those mountains and valleys, I was just going to be free and enter the promised land. Well, there's a period where you have to just be still and know that He is God. It is God who fights your battles. It's God who fights on your behalf. You don't have to make a defense. God is there. He's with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. But if you're patient in that cocoon period, of which none of us knows the day nor the hour that we will break forth, when we finally break forth, we will fly and evolve into that beautiful butterfly. So, beloved, I want to encourage you. You may be a caterpillar at this moment where you're experiencing mountains and valleys, or you may be finding yourself in the cocoon, claustrophobic, unaware of what to do. But God is with you. He's the one who created the caterpillar, the cocoon, and the butterfly. Take courage in that and continue to trust in God. So hopefully this video helped you in some type of way. God makes everything beautiful in His time. Trust in Him. Have faith. Walk out that faith in by walking in the Spirit. Obey and wait on the Lord. So y'all know what it is. It's Los here. We on the throne of positivity. Nobody shall dethrone us. We out.